All right. Greetings. Hope everyone is doing all right. Really appreciate y'all. Really appreciate everyone for joining me. All right. At the 12 o'clock hour every Monday and Wednesday. All right. Every Monday and Wednesday right here on the Masses, Black Power Media Reloaded. This is your brother, Professor Griff, and I salute everyone. All right. Shout out to Kalanji Chaba Changa for having me on, making this thing happen for I don't know how long now. I'll come up with that date in a minute. I don't even know how long. So just from the outstart, we're going to dive right into this subject. I don't want to keep y'all. But in the meantime, in between time, check out the website below. That's www.devitribewellness.com. All right. The Series Minds Brain Tonic. All right. And the Resurrection Formula is now in stock. We poured. All right. We filtered it. We did whatever we had to do. Put some love into it. All right. Did some woo-woo. It's in it, so it should help you along the way. All right. Series Minds Brain Tonic and Resurrection Formula on sale right now. Go to www.devitribewellness.com. And along with that, y'all already know my book, The Birth, is on sale. Go to professorgriff.me to purchase The Birth, the audio book, and the ebook. All right. Or you could go to public in as in Nancy, M as in Mary, E as an elephant.me, publicenemy.me for an audio book and the ebook. Thanks everybody that participated in my class, the Songwriters Workshop. I really appreciate you guys for showing up and participating this weekend coming. Hold on, let me see if I can put this on the screen. I think this one will be better. I'm having a music workshop, Music Business 101 this weekend. This Sunday, Music Business 101. We're going to be tackling real industry perspectives on payola and how to navigate social media, publishing, syncing, license, network strategies. Of course, we're going to talk about the Independent Artist Guide to getting put on. Someone hitting me about the workshop right now. We're going to talk about the music industry and just the business aspect of it. We covered the writer's aspect of it. Now we're going to cover the business aspect of it. Now, without any further ado, let's dive into this subject and let's talk. Let me change that banner underneath you guys in case y'all want to donate. All right. Of course, the Cash App and the Cash App and the Cash App and the PayPal is right there. Greetings. I'm interested in the workshop, so my contacts is Okay, I'll contact you when I get off of here. Anyway, all right, family. Hold on. As y'all already know, you should know. All right. Our sister Amanda Seals was in a debate, as y'all could tell by the subject matter today. Amanda Seals surrounded on Jubilee, one black radical versus 20 black conservatives. Or does it say conservatives? I'm not sure. Anyway, it was very, 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 very interesting. And yeah. I just said to myself, I'm gonna be honest with you. What's my man's name? I wrote his name down. Hold on. Amazing Lucas on his YouTube podcast. Shout out to Amazing Lucas. All right, salute from your brother, Professor Griff. He just said, yeah, we are fried. And I felt the same way. I watched it. I watched the end of it in the car because I had to do some things. When I got to the end of it, I couldn't listen to anything else. I had to process what I just heard. And yeah, it was nothing but a Tower of Babel. It was ridiculous. It was toxic as hell. And I think I've been saying this about what goes on TikTok late at night. I'm not sure if y'all on TikTok, But I had turned in I took a rest yesterday, and the rest turned it into a whole, like, I literally, you know, you have one of them not scheduled kind of sleeps where you just kind of want to take a nap, but you end up sleeping for like 5, 6, 7 hours. Well, that was me. I had to kind of reset and reprogram and I had to get grounded. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, it was ugly. It was really ugly. And I just said to myself, yeah, Amazing Lucas, you're right. We are doomed. Whoo. I don't want to put the negativity out there like that, but we are fried, man. I don't know where they get these people from. I don't know if they pay these people to be on there, or are they some agents, or they must have just recruited these people from MAGA headquarters. No, I apologize, MAGA. I didn't mean to say that. Y'all don't allow black people up in that space. So y'all must have got them from the black mega factory down the street where y'all manufacture these Negroes. Because this was ridiculous. I mean, this was really, truly ridiculous. Miss Moore, greetings to you. I got that coming to you after I get off the show today. All right. I owe you a couple of links. It was sad. We are doomed. So I just said to myself, I was going to come on today and kind of discuss that. And hopefully, if I can get a chance to, if my system is working it correctly, I want to be able to pull up some of these. Man, should I do? I don't know. Let me see if I can just find some clips or something. I don't know. It was ugly. All right. I think I could do some clips if it'll let me do it. All right, fam? So bear with me for a minute. I'm going to stop and start this thing so I can kind of tackle some of these issues so we can get some clarity. If that's all right with everyone. All right. Let's see if this works, family. All right. Let me see if I can make it work. Let's see if I can make it work. All right, I don't know how we should do this. I don't know if we should just let him say his whole little spiel and then kind of talk about it, or he said 3 or 4 things already that just disturbed my spirit. Wow. Let's go back. Hold on, fam. Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Our ancestors were asking for equal opportunity. Our ancestors were asking for equal opportunity. What ancestors are you talking about? I'm truly, really curious, because there were some slave uprisings and some rebellions that's too numerous to name right now. Okay? I think some aspect of black population were asking for equal opportunity in the framework of asking white people to be fair and just before we actually knew who the hell they were and what the ultimate plan was. All right. Okay. All right. So we got that. So the equal opportunity thing, not as a whole, good bro. All of us weren't asking for equal opportunity. That came a little bit later on. We were fighting physically. We were running away, escaping. All right. We had rebellions. All right. Let's go. We have equal opportunity in this country. Where? Where is there equal opportunity in this country? And I think when individuals like this talk, I think just because they feel that they have a job, that pays them and gives them 2 weeks off every year, and they're able to have medical coverage. I think they really truly think that they're free and they have equal representation, not only representation in the government, but they have equal opportunity. When you say equal opportunity, we can list the opportunities that's afforded to Americans as a whole, and then we could narrow it down to how many opportunities or how much opportunity do you have as a black man in this country. Let's just take housing. Do you have equal opportunity where you can live wherever you want to live in America without you being shot, killed, children kidnapped, house set ablaze? Yeah, absolutely not. Now, you could live where you want to live at your own risk. All right. So equal opportunity. No, do we have, it says this it's government for the people and by the people. Are we able, with the opportunities that we have, are we able to set up a third party as opposed to the two-party system in America? I think not. Are we able to trade with African countries? I think not. Do we have the opportunity, like other people have the opportunity to take regular, normal trade routes and, on the trading tip, and flights to black African countries, direct flights to Ghana, direct flights to Sierra Leone, direct flights, all right, to South Africa, all right? Can we travel the way they travel in America without being harassed? Why do we have to come up with something like the Green Book in order to travel in America? So when you say these opportunities, I want to know where are these opportunities so we can take advantage of them. Or can we take the opportunity in America to set up independent black schools without them being hindered? Just continue. Did we have a black president? Who was Barack Obama working for? When the questions of reparations and other things came up, did Barack Obama speak for us as black people? Barack Obama is the product of white people. When you look at it on the surface, you'll say because he's a black man, no. When you peel one layer back, you would say, hell yeah. But then you would have to start diving into the complexities of the system that brought you someone like Barack Obama, his relatives, his handlers, the oath that he's taken. Not talking about the presidential oath. I'm talking about them other oaths. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. So basically what he's alluding to is we continue to talk about racism. That makes America racist. He doesn't think America is racist. Do you think America is racist? Instead of focusing on unity, unity with whom? To bring the country forward to what is the question I'm asking. All right. There's so much to unpack there. It is ridiculous. The amount of coonism that goes into the making of this kind of mindset. Brothers and sisters, what you're witnessing right now, he tore 3 pages out of white supremacy handbook. Those are the white supremacist talking points. Come on, family. Come on. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's try this one. I'm just, yeah, I'm working my way through this. I'm working my way through it. All right. Something that I have to do constantly on my channel is letting people know we have to lead these conversations, regardless of how heated they get, with a level of respect. So let's listen. Okay. Can we do not a deep dive? Can we just do a kind of little kind of dive there? Ah, um, yeah, I am when reading the comments under some of these clips from well-known Uncle Toms and Uncle Thomasinas. It is really critical. So what I did was I just pulled up some basic numbers, in which they're basic numbers that anyone can kind of look at. So I'm reading here. I'm like, violence is largely in. Let me see what's the terminology I could use. Uh, not interracial. Guess you could say it is. Simply what I'm trying to say is, let me read it. The FBI said, and the DOJ, Department of Justice, basically states that crime statistics show that most murders in America are interracial, meaning people kill within their own race. Intraracial. They kill within their own race. For example, white victims, 80 to 85%, most of the time, white people kill white people because white people are killed by other white people, 80 to 85% of the time. Black victims, 80 to 90% of the time, killed by other black people. Black people kill black people 80 to 90% of the time. That don't make black people see. What they're saying is they're using a white talking point, because when we start talking about black on black crime, why aren't we paralleling that to white on white crime? Let's do the stats for that. This is because people generally live, work, and socialize with those of their own race. So more than likely, if you're going to have an altercation somewhere and a murder, unaliving take place, it's going to be someone that looks like you. Now, it's compounded more because of the conditions that they put us in. I wrote a quote down from one of the brothers. I don't remember your name, brother. So if you hear this quote, I don't want you to think Professor Griff is stealing your quote. I want to give you credit because that's just from Street Media TV. I don't know the brother's name, but that's his website. When we start talking about being traumatized, we are behaving in the way that we were designed to behave. We were designed to kill one another. This is by design, through the psychology of self-hate. Every time you hear the term black, you hate it. So you don't want to be black anymore. This is why you hear a lot of people talking today about I'm not black, I'm not African, I'm this, that, and the other, and yada yada yada. I'm not black, I'm Creole, I'm mixed, I'm this, I'm that. Don't want to be black because the pain of having to be in this black skin, dealing with this black life is very traumatizing to the degree where people truly cannot grasp the concept of living this life in this black skin. And it is something to behold. It is something to behold. Our conclusion, the pattern of killing within one's own community is not unique to black people. It is the same for whites, Latinos, and Asians. A lot of times you don't find Asians coming across the board or the border or the line or the racial line that divides us to kill black people and vice versa. All right. You tend to kill intra-racial. You tend to kill with those people that you kind of socialize with within the community in which you're socialized. Black people are going to kill black people at a higher rate. What do you expect? But those are white supremacist talking points, and they can be refuted any day of the week. Rates and versus numbers. The rate of homicide is higher in the black communities compared to white communities. This has more to do with structural conditions, poverty, segregation, systemic racism, under-resourced neighborhoods, mass incarceration, than that of white people. White people didn't experience this. When white people are poor, white people are poor. When black people are poor, or white people's ice is cold, white people have the flu. Pardon me. White people have a cold. Black people got the flu. Ours is so much different, so much worse. Segregation. They didn't have to experience that. Systematic racism, constantly in everything we do, from the kitchen to politics to school to education to whatever you name. We have to face and deal with unraveling racism on everything we do. Under-resourced neighborhoods. We know that has to do with redlining and property value on where we live. All right. Mass incarceration. There wasn't a whole crime bill by George Bush and Biden and other people on how they're going to have this mass incarceration and lock black men up. Especially with the Casual Killing Act and the laws that they came out with after Reconstruction, locking people up for no reason, filling the prisons. White people never had to experience this. So the rates versus the numbers, of course, they're going to be tilted. All right, white on white murders exist in the same majority percentage because of the higher population size and different socioeconomical conditions. More white people kill more white and black people than anyone on the planet. If you want to look at it that way, white people have killed everything. I know you're saying that's a big statement, Griff. You damn right. They've killed everything. Plants and animals, and it's white people versus everything and everybody. So when you start looking at this whole idea of doing these numbers, rates versus numbers, all right, the rates of white people killing white people is really never truly discussed. How narratives are weaponized. They weaponize the murder of black people, black on black crime. They weaponize that. And that's always one of their talking points. My point is, why are these Negroes on here weaponizing it? And then, matter of fact, let's just roll it back a minute. You're a conservative. What are you conserving? And I'm reading some of these comments, which is absurd. But let's play the clip, and then I'm gonna go back to the comments because I don't know what y'all are seeing and reading, but yeah, anyway. Where's the respect from these Negroes? Anyway, the comments are so ridiculous. Under that one clip, it was 1,723 comments. All right, first one says, Amanda Seales is the perfect example of the problem. How is Amanda Seales the problem? And what problem are you talking about? See, black people have been beaten down so much that some of us have just capitulated, and there's no more fight in you. You don't want to fight anyone or fight for anything. You don't want to fight for reparations. You don't want to replace racism, white supremacy with justice. All right? So this is utterly ridiculous. The next comment says, this was a big L by Jubilee. Listen, whoever you are, most people are just finding out about Jubilee. This whole surrounded kind of concept that they came up with, which really truly reminds me, and please, young people, don't take this the wrong way. This reminds me of some of this other silly ass shit young people come up with. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Versus because I love to see the old school artists. I still love to see our people being creative. Versus was borderline toxic that for young people that didn't understand what that's about. When older people such as myself used to battle back in the days, we had MC battles, we had breakdance battles. It was all love. All right? Versus remind me of that. But this balloon pop madness and this kind of madness by Jubilee, surrounded and all this other, running to the chair when the bell go off. You can see this woman in the background right here. This woman is pregnant. How's she gonna run to the damn chair? This is some silly madness, but it's good so young people can see it. Anyway, next comment says, Amanda Seales ashamed of nothing, offended by everything, contributes nothing, entitled to everything. Who are these people writing this stuff? How is she ashamed of everything? Like, she's not ashamed of her people, her hair, her heritage, her history. And how is she offended by everything? The most thing Amanda Seales is offended by is the level of disrespect coming from these people. They think this is CNN where you could just turn your mic up and talk loud and talk over people and interrupt people because they're not used to listening, sitting quiet, listening, and then give a rebuttal. Next comment says they get louder when they know they are losing the argument. No, I get loud and louder when people want to interrupt me and talk over me. Be quiet and wait till I finish speaking. Then you can speak. I will be quiet and let you speak so we can dialogue. Next comment says she has no idea how to debate. In the terms of debating, like in what format? Because Malcolm debated and handcuffed people. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad debated and handcuffed people. Dr. John Henry Clark debated and handcuffed people. And those people in those debates didn't interrupt Malcolm. All right? Didn't interrupt Khalid. Didn't interrupt John Henry Clark. All right? People need to learn how to respect. Some people say, well, why is she yelling? She told you why she's yelling. What do you mean? If people keep cutting her off, she has to yell to get her point across. Someone says she has no clue that she lost. How? Where? When? What debate was y'all watching? I'm trying to figure out what debate was y'all watching. They kept calling her a liberal, and that is the perspective that they were coming from. She kept telling people, and I will remind you, she's not a liberal. She is a black radical, such as myself. I am black and I am radical. I'm a few other things, but you can add that one to the list. Thank you. Hold on. Let's see this one. This might be the same one. I'm not sure. Who has killed more black people? The Klan or us? Wow. Let me take a deep breath, family. Context matters. Context matters, and in the context of historical, irrefutable, I should say, empirical data shows and proves that higher homicide rates are strongly correlated to a few things. One being poverty, one being in close proximity to those individuals that you're more likely to murder, inequality, and not only skin color. Where poverty is concentrated, whether it's the Appalachian Mountains with white communities or it's the black hoods, ghettos, that kind of thing, you will find black people killing black people. And then on the other side, you'll find white people killing white people. Who kills more people? Who kills more black people? Black people or the Klan? Do you really want us to give you those numbers? On the hundreds, if not thousands of lynchings, the ones that were reported and the ones that were not reported, stop playing with me. Matter of fact, stop playing with us. And then way beyond the Klan, we're talking about racism, white supremacy, on how many black people it kills. All right? We're just not talking about being shot, lynched, stabbed, hung, or whatever. We're talking about all the other ways that they've killed us, unalived us, I should say. You see the interruption? This is what I mean. He truly don't believe that the people that are writing the statistics, he don't believe that they lie. They lie. For example, the other day, I talked about ancestral.com right here on this show. Do you know the level of vitriol and hatred that I got when it comes to talking about you tracing your African ancestry through a CIA covert operation called ancestry.com? A pharmaceutical, let me not say that for they strike the channel or something. Yeah. Oh, let me let him finish. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. Let's go to the next one. Wow. I am numb. Right, let me give this some context. So then what we'll see now under some people's pages. White people, because this is the English language and we have to use their language, which is a foreign language, in order for us to have these kind of talks. All right. So white people can come up with words that I know that you don't know the cultural, historical context of some of these words, but yet white people will use them and you won't question anything. Not the word. You won't go look it up. You'll just take it on face value. This is so embarrassing right here that I don't even want to show you. Someone says all she's doing is giving a word salad, super unnecessary. A word salad. Well, it's the English language that we have to speak through, all right, in order to get people that don't readily understand the English language. And this is not even the correct way that you speak English. But they're going to use that to discredit her as opposed to tackling her factual points that she's given. The standard American diet could be used as a word salad. And that's what talking bobbleheads do on the MSNBCs, the CNNs, and a lot of these programs. All right. I can't do him no more. I just can't. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not that well. Patience won't allow me. All right, that's not one of the ones I wanted to see. Hold on. All right, this is one of the ones. Ah, I just spoke to that. I don't need to go over that with y'all, fam. I just spoke to that. We're killing each other at a high rate. Everyone that's going to take to this microphone has that same white supremacist talking point. All right, so this is a debating technique that some people use that I think that we need to understand in its proper context, family. They'll ask you three rapid questions at the same time to confuse you. And I think this is where Amanda Seals needs to tackle one thing. You all write them down, tackle one thing, and Amanda Seals needs to stay focused on what Amanda Seals is talking about. Because this technique, I've seen it used before, and people come on my show and they do it. They'll run down, and people will actually get mad at me and angry with me and want to talk all side-eyed and sidelined and crooked mouth to me about slowing people down. I'm not being condescending with people. I'm saying slow down. Let's understand what you're saying. All right. With some people that come on my show and I agree with them, I just say, bruh, take a deep breath. We're trying to process what you're saying. So let's look at the technique again. One, two, three. I had to stop that, family, because what she says is absolutely correct. Amanda Seales said, let's get to the root of what the problem is. And it's not that we're taking on a victim mentality. We have to take on some kind of way of processing. If we're constantly being victimized, don't say that I'm taking on a victim mentality when I'm being victimized. Somebody is victimizing me, and then the things that I put together to protect myself from being victimized, you say to me, I have a victim mentality. That's not my mentality. My mentality is a pro-black radical position. All right. So because I speak up through that lens, I have to have a victim mentality. It's not my mentality. No, no. Let's try this. Let's try this one. Lady, shut up. No, there was. Wow. That dude stood up, ran his mouth with his chest out, and he was born. Damn. This dude grew up in Maine. Like Maine. So when I heard that, I said, okay, that kind of summarizes what FBA has been talking about. That's precisely what they've been talking about. You grew up and you didn't share and have our cultural experience. You can't tap back into our history and have absolutely no compassion and lend any kind of understanding of what we've been through. So when we respond and kind of act in such a way where we're going to start caring for ourselves at this point and exclude you from the conversation so we can get it together. You grew up in Maine. Like Maine. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. No. I don't even know if y'all know where Maine is at, but hold on. Listen, you said you're not even a black American. This dude, parents from Africa, Angola somewhere. And you're gonna come and you didn't have our experience, but you were born, raised in Maine or what, Florida, Maine, whatever. But you're going to talk to us about correcting something that we should do and how we navigate racism, white supremacy. No, fall back, bro. Hit the pause button. It's not the same. Your experience is not our experience. Our experience is not yours. Stop telling us what to do on this side. Now, you could suggest some things quietly, but no, hell no, you're not going to just come in and speak on issues that we have to deal with and we have been dealing with. The mere fact that you could come here and speak, the fact that we've been resilient to help you get to this point. So come on. She is listening to understand their experience not to undermine their experience. Stop undermining the experience of Black people in America, Black Americans, whether you call them foundational, native, indigenous, whatever language you want to use. Stop undermining it. Understand it. Now, if you don't have anything constructive to say or do or lend to, be quiet. Period. Amanda Seals takes on Black conservatives. We don't want to do that. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. How can I go back? Let me see. Can I go back? No. Reject all. Let me see. Can I go back? I think I can go back one more. Can I? Will it allow me to go back? Now I'm pulling up damn plants. I'm pulling up. Nope, I can't. I guess that's giving me a sign. I want to leave that alone for now. All right. With a longer format, with a better way of kind of dealing with that, I think I can approach it better and give it more a more what do you call it? A deeper understanding that you can pull from. Yeah, expect that. I said, someone said we could only hear you. I know. Expect that, family. This has been happening to me over the last few months. I'll go on, I'll click this button here, I'll share my screen, I'll go to share, right? And you go here and it's supposed to play.
And the results we should get from it. Money's not going to help the thing. We need to just focus on what we need to focus on. As far as Black people being labor force of this country.
Now, tell me, do you hear that? This is what they do. I'm not in control of this. This is the platform that we're on. I'm using StreamYard like everyone else is using StreamYard. This is why I stop the clip and I kind of give some kind of context to it. So in case you don't hear that, you'll at least hear me. All right. You could hear that. All right. I'll stay on with you guys a little bit longer so we can decode it. I'm good. Hold on.
In the use of slavery as slave labor in prisons. So on a basic cultural level, reparations are an act of repair. They are an effort to say, our bad, we see you now.
All right. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. You'll see this? This SAN Jubilee fact check. Who is checking these facts? Who is sitting behind that computer giving us that? I just think that's disingenuous because we don't know who's giving those facts. According to the Oxford Dictionary, okay. Blah, 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 blah. All right, why? That's not cool for a debate. You don't go to a debate and you see people holding up signs, giving the audience, I guess, some kind of different perspective. Why can't we just listen to her and draw up and surmise what she's saying in reference to how factual she is?
We have seen that done with Japanese folks who were put in internment camps. We have seen that done with Jewish folks. We have seen that done even in the case of slave owners who received reparations. When it comes to the use of tax dollars to pay reparations, and this is going to come up a lot today, it's a matter of values, right? For me, my value system circulates around the fact that I think that as a community, we should all be engaged in repair for our community. So I don't think there should be any problem with there being tax dollars spent at repairing consistent efforts that have been made to impede Black people. So the reparations you're talking about are not just related to slavery. There's reparations that have been discussed all over the.
Here's another point I want to make. You see what they're putting underneath? The conservative can raise their flags when they would like a different speaker. or they should have said to count this individual out. And why they want to hear a different speaker? Obviously, that person is not proving their points on that side of the table in reference to the debate. All right.
This nation in different communities as it relates to particular massacres, as it relates to
when a majority 11 of the flags are raised, a new speaker may step into debate.
redlining and the impediment of Black people to earn wealth by having property. There's been impediments in various ways that can be repaired. And I want to also just add, there's reparations that are considered a cash payment from a government.
I want to speak to that real quick, family. I'm going to stop interrupting. Everyone thinks reparations is just a check. Obviously, you know nothing about reparations then. If you're only saying that, you don't need to be in the room when they're having the reparations conversation. You don't need to be in the physical room. You don't need to be in the digital room. You need to sit back somewhere and read and study what is reparations. The root word to reparations is meaning to go back, to bind back to do over. All right. Longer than the root word, you have the term repair. Repair what? All right. We could even say replace, remember, remind, respect. All right. So we're not only talking about money, we're talking about all the things stolen from Africa, from us as a people. All right. We're talking about doing the repair, to repair people to being whole people.
There's also the version of reparations that shows up in how funds are applicated to specific groups of people. So there's multiple ways in which what you're stating cannot happen could very well happen.
Okay, now as far as the money going towards certain things is going to help us, let's look at Baltimore public schools. They get, I think, the third most money per pupil in the US of A, like $15,000.
Baltimore City spends $18,272 per student, the 13th highest of the nation, 100 largest districts. Now, if they're dumping that much money into each individual in the public Baltimore City public school system, right? Do you think they might have an African studies class or program to teach them something about themselves? How about just the financial literacy program or classes or whatever? How about teach them something about themselves? All right. How about all the things that surround them and prohibit them from even getting to school?
Per student, but yet the majority of the population that comes from that environment can't read. They're illiterate. So we're dumping money on the situation, yes, but yet we're not getting the results we should get from it. Money's not going to help the thing.
Money is not going to help the thing. Family, are y'all hearing what I'm hearing? He says money is not going to help the thing.
We need to just focus on what we need to focus on. As far as Black people being labor force of this country, what else are we doing? We got 25% of us on some kind of government assistance. 1 out of every 3 Black men will go to jail. We got to do something. We got to work with our hands, work with tools, do something, because we're not doing much of anything.
We got to work with our hands or do something. I don't want y'all to ever in your life talk about Professor Griff's facial expressions on anything else that y'all see me on, because Amanda Seals got some classic facial expressions. He said we don't do much of anything. Hold on. Yeah. I'd rather talk to you. I got to take a break from that madness. Hold on. What do y'all have to say? So I'm going to do both, and I'm going to play some of the clips and then hear what y'all have to say. So the Black people in Baltimore create their own educational system for us to thrive in? No. The old God says, yeah, he can't speak for us. Thank you, the old God. I'm looking at y'all's comments. Someone said I couldn't stand to watch the whole show. Why? Why couldn't you stand it? I'm not sure about that comment. Oh God, oh God, you said they wouldn't have any tax dollars if it wasn't for slavery. Yeah and no. We're not talking about tax dollars right now. When you talk about slavery, we're talking about it was a system and it was an institution, the institution of slavery. America built itself on the backs of black people because of slavery and everything it afforded to them. They built an entire economy on the backs of black people, on the backs of Africans who were enslaved. All right. And when we start to break down everyone that was involved, from insurance companies to the ship makers and the builders and the textile people and it's so vast. It's just not only those that owned slaves. There were slave traders. There were purchasers. There were sellers. All right. There were many people that wore, there was slave catchers. All right. So, yeah. So it's a lot deeper than just the taxes. You're right, Miss Moore. One brother said it. It's a Tower of Babel. It's confusion. One question I want to ask everyone is to just use this method that I borrowed from some white guy. I forgot his name, and I shouldn't do that because I want to give him credit. I'll find who he is later on. Use the 7 whys. So can we try that out right now? All right, are y'all working with me? Where are we at? Over here. Hold on. The 7 whys. When it comes to anything coming from these white supremacist talking points, just ask the question why 7 times. Let's put that to the test. Let's see if it works out for you. Why are black people killing each other? All right. Take a deep breath. And from the 7 whys, ask yourself why 7 times. I'm going to give you a minute to do that. I hear some of y'all thinking. All right, I'm almost there. All right, what did you come up with? Need to know what's good with you. Did y'all even do it? I'm not. Oh, wait. Compounding effect that still resonates today. Okay. What's good, Professor? Happy birthday. I know I'm late. All right. Thank you very much. Yarrow Song Brave. I don't know what that is. That's not what I asked. Enemies Public. Field Marshal. I didn't. Okay. Thank you for just joining us. Is anyone going to answer Professor Griff's question? Anybody on IG would like to answer that? 7 whys. Why is the father not in the home? Why? Why are there no fathers in the home? Why? 7 whys. And every answer you come up with, just ask why 7 times. That only proves that there's a systemic miseducation with the public education system. Brown-eyed Brooklyn girl, peace. What's good with you, sis? The Golden Child, what's up? The Golden Child answered. He says, because the government wants what? Golden Child. It got cut off. The black man participates in their children's lives more than any other race. Thank you, TD. Griff, like I talked to you about several weeks ago, the total number of humans killed by white people, they got to criticize how many of us kill. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Divide and conquer. Thank you very much. I got to my relatively quick because we are in the hood, crabs in a barrel. Okay, Frank Young. I don't know who you are, but let's tackle what Frank Young gave us. I got to my relatively quick because we are in the hood, crabs in a barrel. Who created the crabs? And who created the barrel that the crabs operate in? Frankie Young. Please answer this for me. Who created the barrel and what does the barrel represent? And how did they make the crabs? I'm just asking a question. Who are the crabs that's in the barrel? No money creates survival mindset. Why don't black people have money? If the $1 trillion comes to our hands every year, why don't we have money? All right, if you would like to donate to the platform, please do by hitting the Cash App, $ Professor Griff, or hit my cash, or hit my PayPal. All right, if you would like to honor the brain tonic and the resurrection formula, go to the site that's on the bottom of the screen. All right, resurrection formula is on sale now. www.devitribewellness.com. Serious Minds Brain Tonic, which will help a lot. I'd like to give like 20 bottles to these people like that, to these conservatives, because I still don't know what they conserve. But anyway, Serious Minds Brain Tonic. You can get it at www.devitribewellness.com. And remember the discount code for purchasing the audio book and the ebook in a bundle. The discount code is One Love. All right, discount code One Love. In order to take advantage of getting the birth ebook and audio book, just send me an email to seriousminds@gmail.com. All right, with using the code One Love, and I will respond. Goddess Yemeya. All skin folk ain't kin folks. Exactly why FBA is right about what? What is FBA right about? All right, that's why Why we're owned them because they always targeting. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Eugene Mason, I didn't see this comment. As the original beings of the planet, it's divine, acknowledge, love Africans, planet, love. I got you. All right. Oh, okay. So Frankie Young did respond. Us black people are the crabs. How do we get to be crabs? I don't know what is crab. Crabs are not an insect. What are they called? But how do we end up being crabs? Were we crabs before we got introduced to them? Who made us crabs, Frankie? And who put the crabs in the barrel? You have some people responding to you, Frankie. Jason Wakeman, if you don't have time to respond to whoever's oppressing you, I feel sorry for you, because there's no way you're going to survive in America. If you worked a job, Jason, I'm just talking to you right now, Jason Wakeman, we don't own anything. The reason why ask yourself, why don't we own anything? It's not our table to have a seat at. Why are we not at the table, Frankie? See, this is the exercise, Frankie. You keep putting up more situations, and I'm asking you to ask yourself why. So, Jason Wakeman, you said ain't got no time to think about who's really oppressing me. Wow. So if you got a job, Jason, if you go to your job every single day, Jason, right? And your supervisor is constantly tripping you, cursing at you, not letting you go to lunch, docking you for every little thing, right? Which is oppression to a degree. All right. Would you not want to strike out and say and do something, Jason Wakeman? And you don't have time for that? You're just going to keep on working? So you rather lash out at the first ninja stressing you out. You rather lash out at somebody black stressing you out. I ain't got no time to think about who's oppressing me. I'm too ready to smash the first ninja or N-word stressing me. See, the psychology of self-hate. I read it earlier. You are programmed to unalive somebody that looks like you, instead of understanding the system and learning how to navigate the system. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. And this is where they want to bring you. All right. I don't care whose lyric it is, Jason. I'm asking you. You the one that posted it. And if that is a lyric that you borrowed from somebody else, then what is your mindset that you would take that lyric and put it up in the chat? I'm laughing, Jason, because now you say, I guess it would have been better in the context of the song. Come on. Thank you, Frankie Young. You're coming to your senses now. They made us crabs. From being gods and goddesses, they made us crabs. Then they created the environment called the barrel, which is the hood, which is these situations that they put us in. All right. Then they create certain things that go on in the hood, like they do with Pavlov's children, like Pavlov's experiments. Like, yeah. Hold on. Who had the mice experiment that Dr. Amos Wilson was talking about? Mice in a maze experience. Who was that? Mice experiments are a common method of studying animal behavior, particularly spontaneous learning, memory experiments typically involve mice in a maze. Who was the author of that, though? Who's the author? Who designed it? Question mark. Dr. Carol Barnes designed it in 1979. Who popularized it? And then I think Dr. Amos Wilson was talking about Pavlov because he was talking about the stimulus and the response. Ivan Pavlov's most famous experiments involving classical conditioning, where dogs learn to associate a neutral stimulus like a bell with food, eventually salivating at the sound of the bell alone. That's Pavlov. And what happens in schools? Frankie Young. What happens in schools? Jason. What happens in the schools, brothers and sisters? Your lunch bell rings, it goes off, you start salivating, and you go eat. Well, how many other bells they have you responding to? Let me go back. I'm only going to be on it for a few. I keep saying it every single show. I'm only going to.
And also, one more piece here. Reparations, again, always anchored in front of us, never going to happen. As long as you've been living, as long as I've been living, as long as everybody been living, they say we need it, and it never gets done. One more piece.
Wow. Reparations is never going to get done as long as we've been living. You are so disrespectful. There are so many people that I know that have formed organizations, had meetings, talks, roundtable discussions, all right, that have fought for reparations. Literally. Spending half of their life putting information together surrounding the whole idea of Black people getting reparations, even right up to this day as we speak right now.
You just said one more piece, then you added another one.
I promise.
So hold on to it. No, hold on to it.
I'm gonna land the plane. I'm gonna land the plane. I promise. Reparations is a thing. Like I said, it's a carrot that dangle in front of us. They're never really going to get it done. And if it was going to get done, it would have already been done. It's just something that they.
If it was going to get done, it would have already been done. Family, let me just say this. I don't know if it's my brain or my mind and the way it works and the way I process things, but can I ask y'all a question? Yeah, you're right, Matthew Butler. It's Pavlov's dogs. Let me ask. Can I ask y'all a question? How do y'all process this stuff? How do you? How do y'all process this?
Using
to try and make us stay Democrat. That's what I wanted to say.
Well, Democrats are not doing reparations either. This is nonpartisan. This is Black partisan, baby. Okay.
Well,
this is nonpartisan.
Who do we vote for? Who do we vote for? 90% of the time. There's no incentive.
To be quite honest, you're not talking to a Democrat. You're talking to a radical.
Okay, but let's land this plane very quickly. Who do we vote for?
Let's land this plane quickly.
Who do
you're
we vote
talking
for?
to a radical, not a Democrat.
Okay, and you are your own person.
Let me tell you something now.
For?
I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how we're going to get clicks, stop it now.
Oh no,
that's not how we're going to. That's not how we're going to enter.
We having a debate.
A debate does not require continuously cutting somebody off.
Okay, no problem.
Now I do want to state this. You're stating things as it relates to how money is not fixing a problem without acknowledging the fact that the problem doesn't exist in a vacuum. and that there are so many other factors that are determining how that money is getting spent to impede it from actually fixing a problem. You can put all the money into Baltimore public schools you want, but if you are also putting all this money into policing, into communities that are not getting resources, then you are also creating your own conundrum. The other
Miss Goddess Yemi Ya. My phone number is 678-557-2919. I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to have my research team look this up, and we're going to get back with you probably tomorrow. All right? Because I hear this from people like you all the time. You're assuming that the 20 people in the room are all from Africa, or they're all African or Caribbean backgrounds. All right? When a percentage of quote unquote FBA, their parents are African and Caribbean. I was told I wasn't an FBA because my father's Blackfoot Native American. So I'm going to hold you to that. All right. You missed the Frankie Young. Rewrite that because you missed a couple of words. I don't even understand what that says. Seems like you left out a couple of words. All right. I don't know what this gentleman is doing. Let's move on to the next guy. This answers your point, Miss Yemi Ya.
All right. I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority.
All right.
Please return to your seat.
Okay.
My name is Matt Nuclear.
Hello, Matt. Matt Nuclear?
Matt Nuclear, yes.
Matt Nuclear, give me a better handshake than that. Let's do it.
I
All right.
appreciate having this conversation with a beautiful Black woman like yourself. This is nice, beautiful arena here. I disagree that reparations are necessary. I think the most important thing that's necessary right now for the Black community would be the stopping of violence, especially.
I don't believe reparations is necessary. The most important thing is stopping the violence.
Black on Black violence. I don't see how reparations is going to solve anything. You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to.
All right, this is the second person to talk about money is not going to fix anything. Okay.
Increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we had the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that Black people kill each other, according to the FBI.
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of Black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. What? No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe this?
I'm telling the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America. What's it?
Oh my God. You're right, Mrs. Moore. This is so sad. There's no systemic racism in America.
System is racist. I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington,
So the only systemic racism that's going on right now is racism against white people.
example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using Black-only dormitories because Black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other Black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when Black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my
Tell me.
God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now. Okay. So on a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that Black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism. And we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When we talk about systemic racism, we can start with even the fact that redlining, which was implemented to discriminate Black communities. Are you shaking your head that redlining doesn't exist?
No, I'm saying I don't think it really existed at all. I mean, no, I don't think so at all.
So it does exist, and stating that it doesn't exist doesn't make it no longer exist. Redlining absolutely exists. It is not something that's being made up. It's an empirical fact. And there are realities that exist because of redlining. We know that school systems are related to the way that property taxes are affecting the school systems. If a school system is not getting the same property value as the property taxes allow it, then it's not going to have the same efficacy at allowing for students to be able to get what they deserve. When we talk about systemic racism, we have to acknowledge that these private prisons are literally built based on the test scores of school students in third grade. So if you are literally building prisons with the onset of, okay, if these people are not reaching a certain reading level, then we know that they're going to go down a prison industrial pipeline where we can use their free labor. Then how is that not systemic? And if you want to
stop them from entering prisons,
how are you going to stop people from entering prisons if your goal is to get them into prison?
Sure, make them try to be more like Ben Carson than be like King Von. That's very, very simple.
So how does King Von happen? How does King Von happen?
King Von
reparations. Actually, no, let me land the plane. Yeah. We're talking about reparations, and what you're doing is actually just trying to get this conversation off the facts. And the fact is, reparations are just and necessary because on a basic level, Black people built this country, and the country continues to thrive off of the labor that Black people put into this country. And it would behoove you, young man, to really understand the way that your ancestors put blood, sweat, and tears into this nation that is still living off of those blood, sweat, and tears. And let me also add, there are reparations and then there is remunerations. Do you know the difference?
Yes, but can I finish one point that I wanted to say?
Question.
Ben Carson's cousins were killed at a very young.
I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority. Okay. Please return to your seat.
I hope some of y'all are acting. I really do. We in LA, and I hope some people in here are acting. Oh, what's that on your chain?
This is a coin from Israel.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, you gotta go.
That's a choice that you are making for yourself.
Yes. The thing with the whole reparation.
All right. I don't know how much more I could take. Let me stop sharing. We'll have to do part 2 some other time. I don't know how much more I can take. Thank you, Red Dragon. Reparations of reparative justice. Wow. Jason, you might get blocked because obviously you're looking for some attention. You might want to get a girl or a dog or a pet or somebody. Not over here, bro. If you want some attention, you're not going to want the attention I'm going to give you. Okay. I'm about to sum this up. I'm just looking at the comments. Mrs. Moore, you're absolutely right. This is who we're dealing with. This is who and what we're dealing with. The degree of self-hatred, the degree of, I don't know where these people grew up or who the hell they are. Like, I'd really like to know, though. Seriously, I'm going to do some investigating. I want to know who the hell these people are. They don't have a basic understanding of politics, history, stats, and how they come up with stats. They're missing some basic stuff. To some degree, the bunker TV, I want to agree with you. But when you're asking people that have no knowledge of themselves to identify themselves, that's where we fall short. I'm talking to the bunker TV. He said self-identification ID is revolutionary. All right. He said it's revolutionary. Peace. This is Professor Griff. Listen, I'm still on my show right now. I'll have to call you right back. All right. Okay. I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah. All right. Have any questions for me? Amanda's family is not from here, but she's cut from a different cloth. Okay, got you. Anyone else? Thank you very much, the Bunker TV. They were parroting Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes' talking points. Exactly. That's what I've been saying the whole show. I don't know. That's what Yimmy Yah, Goddess Yimmy Yah said earlier, Bruce Lee. They probably not from here because of the way they're talking. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. Amanda Seals debates 20 conservatives. Hold on. All right, as we sum this up, Queen Yasmin, Amanda learned these talking points from Camilla Moore and the California Reparationists. Okay, you saying that's a good thing or it's a bad thing or it's a not important thing, or give us some direction there. Help us out. So, no, Alex, you're absolutely correct. All those that don't want reparations, then y'all don't have to come to the meeting. We're good. We'll see y'all later on. We don't have no problem with that. We don't have any issues with that. We'll take it. We got it. Amanda Seals have any black radical position Do they necessarily have to sit in a Tariq Nasheed meeting or FBA space in order to think like she's thinking? I don't understand that. So do these people, these conservatives, really think that just because they get a job with white people, they have to conserve that? But because you get a job making a certain amount of money, you live in a certain amount of neighborhood, so there's no more racism, no more systemic racism? Queen Yasmin, thank you very much. On your next thing, I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but you don't have to actually like someone, Queen Yasmin. There's a lot of people I don't like. I just sit back, I watch them do their thing, so I don't. And okay, what you saying, Queen Yasmin? That's what someone's supposed to do. I've interviewed Anthony Browder, Professor Smalls, Mwali Muke, Bomani Baruti. And I've taken from what they've given us. Yeah, I'm trying to understand your thinking. Who do y'all want to see on this Jubilee surrounded kind of thing? All right, Queen Yasmin, this is not the FBA platform. All right, so if you love Tariq Nasheed or whoever you love, then love on, sis. It's a beautiful thing. I don't have to love Tariq Nasheed to know his position. I can respect him and understand his position. I don't necessarily have to love him. Or like him. No, Miss Moore, you will never see me on Jubilee because I'm not going to get handled and disrespected like that. That ain't going to happen with Professor Griff. Absolutely. Riza Islam might do well on there. Who else? I don't know, but yeah, not me. You ain't gonna talk out your neck all sideways and cutting me off and all that. Nah, I'm not doing that, bro. It's best to stay away from me. I don't think so, Bruce Lee. I'm glad I'm not a master teacher, Queen Yasmin. I'm just a soldier. Now, Bunker TV, you know you need to stop. No, let me be very transparent and very real. As opposed to everything else that's going on, how much credibility could you give a Dr. Umar on this? Dr. Umar intellectually would probably chew these people up and spit them out. We're not taking that away from him or even Candace Owens or even whoever else. But we're talking about everything else outside of that. All right. Thank you very much, TD. And so am I. I'm a master, all right, but I'm a master student. Dr. Umar does have that quick thinking, fast talking, can answer some of the questions and deal in a debate. Yes. We're being very transparent now, very open without being disrespectful. Tariq Nasheed would probably fare in this debating kind of scenario, being surrounded. Professor Griff would fail miserably. I'm not going to be in any circle in the presence of anyone if a level of respect is not shown. So it's the integrity and the credibility of it all. After the debate is over, all right, and the lights go down, cameras go off, now what? Okay. All right, so I don't want y'all to take what I just said and run it and get on the phone. Dr. Umar, guess what Professor Griff just said about you, my brother? Stop that. Stop being children about it. All right? Stop. I don't disrespect and I don't rearrange king's crowns in public like that. Don't do that. You ain't got to straighten his crown in public. I give credit to where credit is due. Umar, Tariq Nasheed, Candace Owens, Riza Islam. Somebody else is I have them in mind, but I can't pull the name. They will eat these people alive on these debates. Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Nuri Muhammad, I wouldn't. I would get in the middle of a sentence. No, Alex, stop that. Stop. Absolutely not. Stop. I would get in the middle of a sentence and somebody would cut me off. I'd be like, bruh, seriously, you cut me off one more time, it's going to be a problem. All right. Yeah. All right, family. I love y'all to life. This is the best I could do on this because it is so much to unravel. But I have a homework assignment because I got to answer the goddess, Miss Yasmin or Yemi Ya. Which one was it? I'm getting confused. Yemi Ya or Yasmin? Hold on. Yasmin said, I'm not FBA, I'm Friedman. Got you. I think it was Yasmin. I think you said you probably think that everyone on here is either African or Caribbean. And but because Amanda Seals' parents were, I'm confused. Because Malcolm's parents was what? Malcolm X's parents was what? Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael, his parents was what? I'm confused. Yeah. And I'm gonna say this again, which it really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Like I said, I'm not to my face, but I've been told you're not even FBA. So what are you talking about, Professor Griff? Love y'all to life. I got to get out of here. All right. I hope we was able to at least kind of tackle some of the things. The Bunker TV, you said Dane Calloway. I don't think I know enough about Dane Calloway. I'm going to look into Dane Calloway deeper. Def Rocker. What is the xenophobic mindset? What is that? Last point that I need to understand. This is not for y'all. This last one is for me. Def Rocker, talk to me before I gotta go. What is this xenophobic mindset? Because I hear people using this terminology. I want to be able to understand it in the way that y'all are giving it to me. I don't know. Sabir Bey would probably do well, but I don't know. I sent Sabir Bey a message recently because I heard him talking about me and not in a good way. So if y'all know Sabir Bey, can you ask him to give me a call? 678-557-2919. Not good, Sabir Bey. And I know you, bro. I don't even understand what that's about. Like, call me. 678-557-2919. I'm sending that out to Sabir Bay. So if y'all know him, text him, call him, tell him to call me. Alex, I'm not saying I don't listen to Dane Calloway. I do. But I never really heard him tackle these issues that Amanda Seales tackled. Oh, so Bunker TV, he answered for you. I'm him, Big Gasman. Bunker TV basically said xenophobia is hatred of other cultures. So basically, I don't know. This is the education of Professor Griff. Can y'all help me with that, please? So can I be xenophobic? Can I be xenophobic? And if I can, which culture do I hate? Kaba Kwabene would work in that setting. Yes. Oh, damn. Oh, Sabir Bey. He stayed with your name in his mouth. I know. I don't even still what's this dude's fixation with Professor Griff? I don't know. Yeah, I know. Black Creek Goddess, I know. It keeps freezing. I'm telling you, these people are hard at work. Don't ever think these people are not. Y'all come on here thinking this is not these people's platform. I'm trying to get off here. I want to understand this xenophobic thing. Can I be xenophobic? Xenophobic is a fear, hatred of foreigners, strangers, or any. I don't think black people, we don't have that xenophobia thing going on. No, we've accepted anybody to come in. And growing up in my family, if you know anything about the Griffin family in Roosevelt, Long Island, there was a few people that we weren't even related to that my mom let stay at our house because they needed a place to stay. So the xenophobic thing might not fit. I don't have a fear of other cultures. Fear for what? I'm not. Black Creek Goddess, you're right. We bring everybody to the cookout. Thank you, TD. So text voice says xenophobic may be the wrong word. See, this is what the clarity I want to get because I see people using this terminology. And to be honest with you, text vor, I be frowning my face up because I'm like, that's not the right word to use in that situation. And I'm not an English major. Trust me. Y'all know I'm not. So xenophobia doesn't work for us? Okay. Okay. So even though we let people in and stay at my mama's house, they had no say-so. All right. So they don't get to decide and become part of the decision-making process in my mama's house. So we need to get that straight. Okay. Yeah, Professor Smalls would actually work in that situation, but Professor Smalls is not going to be disrespected either. I know this. I know this. I don't know who Randy Short is. Introduce me to him. I'm open. Text me something of his. 678-557-2919. And I think when I get off of here, I'm going to call Sophia Bay. I'm not going to wait for him to call me. All right. All right, family. I got to go. I got to get to work. I got a homework assignment to do. I got to call Sophia Bay and we got to talk. I love y'all to life as always. All right. Somebody asked me one time, about this posture here. And when I broke it down, and they swore, like Black Greek goddess just put it up in the chat. This is simply the left brain and the right brain coming together, being whole. That's it. All right. Peace and love, family. I will speak with everyone on the flip side of this thing. All right. All right. Peace. Gotta stand up.